Yo guys, what's going on? Acez is here today with another video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about my honest opinion on the brand new Escape from Tarkov version being the unheard edition of the game. I'm going to be honest in this video here today. I tried to reserve some of my thoughts and feelings in the initial video I made. I'm actually surprised I got the price right. A lot of you guys didn't think it'd be $250. And it was indeed $250, not including your taxes, your fees, and if you're overseas and you're paying in euros or whatever, I think it's even a little more expensive because of the conversion rate, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a ton of money for the unheard edition of the game. But I want to be very clear that there are some massive pros and some massive cons to this edition of the game. You might agree with me on some stuff. You might completely disagree with everything I have to say. You might completely agree with everything I have to say. You can feel free to discuss whatever you want in the comments down below. These are just my opinions, and if you don't like them, that's okay. That's what an opinion is for. Do me a favor, leave a like on the video, and of course, make sure you subscribe me to the channel. I know we lost a lot of subs lately. I haven't been uploading, but we do have a little announcement at the end of the video, so you can skip to that if you don't want to hear my opinions, or you can stick through the entire thing, and I think you'll be happy with what you get to hear at the end. So let's just start with the brutally obvious, elephant in the room. The game is now 100% pay to win. And even though it's not like a huge pay to win thing yet, now that the game has entered that pay to win stage, there's absolutely nothing stopping Battlestate Games and Nikita from pumping more pay to win shit into the game because they're going to see how much revenue this will generate. We will talk about revenue a little bit in this video today as well. This is not scripted, by the way. This is all just my thoughts off the top of my head. I didn't have time to prep for this. I'm not Pastilli. I'm not one of the big content creators. I just sit on here, talk about my feelings, and that's that. So, elephant in the room is pay to win. Bigger pockets. That is 100%, not even talking about the radio equipment yet. The bigger pockets is 100% pay to win. You can now enter a raid with any rifle you want and have a 30 or 60 round magazine for it and not have any other gear. That is kind of a game changer for all rat players, all zero to hero runners. Like, that is a massive change. And you might think, well, that's not really pay to win if you're not running any gear. Well, if you want to look at it from, a technical standpoint, you get 2 extra slots in your inventory that you didn't originally have. That is, if you are going off of the 10K a slot rule for most people who like to make money in Tarkov, that's an extra 20K every single raid. The radio equipment itself, I don't have in front of me the list of everything it does, but the fact that when you are fence rep 6, and I think it's under 60 meters, scavs simply do not engage you, or if it's over, it's one of the two. You can feel free to correct me in the comments. Regardless, not getting engaged by scavs is easily pay to win. I mean, you don't have to worry about the shotgun buckshot scavs that one tap you. I mean, like, that's pay to win. And then you have other things like the car will cost you 50% less, and there's a couple other things it does as well. The entire bundle itself, or the addition of the game, I should call it, it's pay to win. Now, some of the other stuff, the bonuses, let's be brutally honest, I can understand the argument for being pay to win. I've always said EOD was pay to win because of Gamma, but, people like to argue it's because of trader reps being higher and now getting a bunch of skills leveled right off the rip. Listen, like, if you play the game, you can get those things yourself. So that is not going to be part of my pay to win argument. But seeing the game have 100% pay to win elements now is not what Tarkov needed. Tarkov was already kind of sinking down, and it's still easy to recover. Even where we're at now, assuming that they stick with this forever, it's still pretty easy to recover the game. And if it's a finances issue, which we will get into, there's many ways to recover from that as well. But right now, it's not the direction the game should have gone. It has never been the direction the game was initially planned to go. And it's not a good look. It is not a good look for Battlestate Games and Nikita to be entering the pay-to-win stage. So I want to touch on PvE Tarkov specifically. That's going to be the gameplay that you are currently watching in the background. I don't know if it's going to be entertaining or not. I've only played 2 raids, I think. But I want to talk about PvE Tarkov. I would have paid for another $250 on a second account to run on a second PC if you could not play it solo. You can play it solo to answer anybody's questions. So this is 100% the official single player Tarkov. You don't have to go through all the loopholes and download shit that you don't know what it is and, follow all these steps. You don't got to do none of that shit for SPT anymore unless you want the mods, unless you want to do that, unless you never want to touch the official Tarkov again. You can go that route if you want. That's not me. I always play by the book here. I like to be official about everything, be correct about everything. So, you can now 100% have SPT. And in my opinion, it's worth the upgrade. That's just me. As somebody who suffers from severe cheater paranoia and nowadays not enough time to even play the game itself, being able to hop on single player Tarkov, have a stress-free experience when it comes to worrying about cheaters, but at the same time, still get plenty of dopamine, still have plenty of adrenaline playing the game, that good old Tarkov 2019-2020 feeling. The game felt great in PvE. It is definitely not optimized, and it is not running on offline servers. They are running on online servers, so you're not getting the FPS boost you get when playing offline. But, I gotta say, in my personal opinion, it is 100% worth the upgrade. If you do not have enough time to play Tarkov, there are no wipes in single player, and not having to worry about cheaters. Like, that is the biggest thing for me. It's been the number one complaint for me for the last 2 or 3 years now. It's the main reason I stopped playing the game. I am now 100% back on board with Escape from Tarkov in PvE mode only. I don't think I'll ever play the online version of the game again. I genuinely mean that. I do not think I will ever play the online PvP version of Escape from Tarkov ever again. So, pros and cons, the PvE mode is a massive pro. It is just a really great experience for casual players, and if you can afford the $250, myself, I'm a content creator, I can write it off of my taxes, and I can play the game and make money from the game via this YouTube channel. So for me, it's a little different. It's not just wasting $250, or in my case, it was a $100 upgrade. For you guys who might not have channels or any form of monetization via Tarkov and no way to get that money back, and you can't write it off on your taxes, listen, you have to understand how many hours you're going to put into the game. What do you get paid hourly? And do the math. Are you going to get 10 hours worth of great times on single player Tarkov? If you're going to get 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours, 40 hours, 50 hours, make that determination and buy it. Right now everybody wants to boycott Tarkov, and I seem to have a way with when everybody's mad at Tarkov, I find the positives, and when everybody loves Tarkovs, I always find the negatives. Maybe that's a bad trait for me, or maybe I can just see both sides of the situation. But I do want to say I am fully in 100% support of the PvE mode itself. I am not in support of Battle State Games not giving it for free to all EOD owners. I don't support that. That they are covering their tracks. It was 100%, allegedly fraud. If there was a class action lawsuit against Battle State Games, I'm sure that would be possible, because them in real time covering their tracks, watching Landmark on his stream, and changing shit on the site is absurd. That is absurd practices. It's scammy. And, I know we're 8 minutes in already, but we do have some more stuff to talk about, so we do need to move on. But, I think EOD owners should have gotten the mode for free. As of right now, it seems like you will get 6 months for free if you are EOD. They're adding a whole bunch of stuff to EOD. Check their Twitter. Check, some of the other content creators. I'm sure Logical might have posted about it. Tony, Landmark, and plenty of the other creators, whether that's Vel, Airwing Marine, even some of the other guys who are more PvP focused, those guys as well. I'm sure everybody's posting about it, so you can find the new things being added to EOD, but apparently you're getting 6 months of PvE for completely free, but then it seems like you'll have to pay for it after. So let's talk about the financial situation, and then we'll try and wrap it up. So I think personally that Battle State Games there's one of two options here, in my opinion. I think they are flat broke, and they needed money, and this was going to be the most polarizing way to get press. Even bad press is good press, as they say. if they put slight pay-to-win features in, they knew everybody was going to talk about it. They knew every single content creator on the platform of YouTube, of Twitch, of whatever streaming site, whatever was going to talk about it. They knew it was going to create a massive earthquake in the community, and that way it would drive sales. Outlets that don't cover Tarkov will now cover Tarkov in the ongoing situation. There's going to be people that learn what Tarkov is through this incident, good or bad, and that could drive sales. If, Battlestate Games is flat broke, then I understand why they did this. They need the money. But here's the thing. This could also, people like to call it an exit scam, kind of like in crypto, but I don't think it's necessarily an exit scam. It could just be exit funding. This could be a very, very huge indicator that Tarkov's done. They don't want to deal with it anymore. There's a lot wrong with Tarkov. There will always be something wrong with Tarkov. I'm sure there's still going to be a team that works on the game and, fixes stuff at a very slow rate and does, occasional updates here and there and still probably banning cheaters on the online portion of the game. But, I think Nikita might just want to move on to Russia 2028. And this is the best way to get some funding for that game. Even if it's EOD owners upgrading, that's $100 in his pocket, not counting his fees and all his other shit he has to pay. He's probably not getting $100 per upgrade. Maybe he's getting 50, but that's still, even if you have hundreds of thousands of players upgrading, that's a shit ton of money. You're going to have people paying the $250 outright on a brand new account. There's going to be a lot going on. So, it's just one of those things where if this is money and funding for the next game, Russia 2028, I understand it too. I hate to say that, and I hate to sound like I'm supporting it, but I think Russia 2028 is going to be a great game, assuming that it does get pushed. Shout out to my neighbor just fucking revving his engine while I'm making a video. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but, assuming Russia 2028 maybe takes a little bit of a different direction because now we do have single-player Tarkov. I was under the impression that Russia 2028 was going to be a largely solo game. That was just based off what I've heard in the past. Either way, the way they went about getting this funding, I don't necessarily love it because we all know that there's going to be pre-orders for Russia 2028 and you're going to have to purchase it outright anyway. So they're going to get a cash influx, but maybe they need the cash now to support the development of it, pay their team, pay people, whatever the case may be. That's where we're at. Another thing that kind of points to them being more on the broke side of things instead of just funding their next project is, apparently the melee weapon you get from the edition is a $7.50 asset on like Unreal Store or, whatever it is, wherever you buy the assets from. Apparently it's $7.50 for them. And, they threw it in a bundle that is a $100 upcharge or a $250 edition of the game. So what are my opinions? Well, I'm just talking about shit. What do I actually feel about the bundle? For me personally, my opinion is it is absolutely 100% worth it if you do not have enough time to play PvE Tarkov and or have cheater paranoia. If you are logging on Tarkov every single day and think, can't wait to die to a cheater today, single player Tarkov's for you. Okay? It's as simple as that. It's a great time. I played 2 raids so far, and it felt like normal Tarkov to me. It was still, plenty of adrenaline rushing. You still have the fake PMC, Raider PMCs, whatever they are, fighting the scavs, and, they have, like, Raider loot and shit. It's not like they have Timmy kits. I believe they don't have dog tags as of now. I never got to loot any. I was playing on Ground Zero, and they seem to like the streets a lot, and that's a little sketch for me. But, it's one of those things where if you don't have the time to play the game, or you just don't like cheaters, absolutely worth it. 100%. I'll fully support you in your decision to purchase the game, that game edition of the Unheard edition for the single player experience. For the rest of it, absolutely not. It's a terrible look. It's a bad practice. And, I think Battlestate Games absolutely fumbled the bag. They really just are trying to dig themselves out of the hole, and in reality, they are digging themselves deeper, hurting their reputation even more, even though it's been absolutely chalked the last few years. I mean, they dig so far down, and then they dig out a little bit. They do a couple things right. They listen to the community a little bit, give us some transparency, tell us the cheaters, the ban list, the ban waves, and a lot of things going right, then boom, fall off another fucking cliff, and we're further down than what they climbed out of so far. So, my honest opinions are a little dependent on your situation, but overall, I think the addition of the game is a complete miss, and is not a good look for Battle State. It's not good for Tarkov itself. But for me personally, this is a dream come true, and it was the fastest $100 I think I've ever spent to be able to enjoy stress-free Tarkov and the experience that I had back in 2019 and 2020. So that's where we're going to leave it off, my friends. Let me know how you feel. Sorry for a 15-minute video, but I wanted to make sure I did touch on pretty much everything that I didn't really want to talk about in the first video. I wanted to make sure you knew how I felt about it before I start releasing content on PvE mode. So that is our little announcement here at the end of the video. I'm coming back 100%. We are going to do, I wouldn't call it like a raid Pastilli style. I have an idea of what I want to do, but the first episode needs to be fully edited, and I talk about it in that episode. So, yeah, I'm coming back full-time content creator. It's going to be for the PvE mode only, and I don't know if we'll necessarily bring back, like, rap money or something, but we'll do something for sure. Whether that's just raid content, I know that's not really what I'm known for. I'm more the informational dude. I'm more of the make money dude. But I'm definitely planning on coming back. So that's where we're gonna leave it off, my friends. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you're subscribing. I'll talk to you very soon. I'm out.